I think I might need a few of these before we get going. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and it's time for another installment of News It or Lose It. This is a series where I take a topic that's trending in the world of music and then insert my own opinion. And today we're going to be going through and breaking down the timeline of the beef between Machine Gun Kelly and Corey Taylor, the frontman of Slipknot. This seems like a very unlikely beef, yet at the same time, these are two people that seem to be very outspoken with their views. However, one tends to err on the side of being more right or else justified in his comments, and the other just out in left field, stirring the pot for the sake of it. There's a lot of weird twists and turns here that involve Corey Taylor and MGK possibly collabing, Travis Barker's in the mix trying to bring the pair together for a song for Tickets to My Downfall, and Machine Gun Kelly seemingly reignited whatever feud was there by making some comments at Riot Fest 2021, but this could possibly date all the way back to February of this year, as of course Corey Taylor was giving some thoughts on the current state of rock music on a podcast back in February.
I hate all new rock for the most part. I think the artists who failed in one genre and decided to go rock. And I think he knows who he is.
My man Corey is just mapping out the truth here, as Machine Gun Kelly, for those unfamiliar, was a rapper at one point in time, and who knows, he might go back to that at some point, but people tend to lay out the comment, oh, Machine Gun Kelly got kicked out of hip-hop because of how badly Eminem burned him with his Killshot diss track. MGK, of course, tried to give a diss to Eminem. It didn't work out so well, although I will, of course, admit that there are plenty of people who seem to love Machine Gun Kelly, loved his side, his response, everything like that. But at the end of the day, ironically, since we're talking about Slipknot, MGK just has a habit of making himself look like a childish fucking clown.
Hey, you wanna know what I'm really happy that I'm not doing? Being 50 years old, wearing a fucking weird mask on a fucking stage, talking shit.
It was just last year when I made a video responding to MGK's comments that he made on a podcast with Spotify, basically talking about the rock star fuck you attitude that he needed to see more people having, and about how it was about the look, the fashion, being uncomfortable on stage. And if Slipknot don't fit that, I mean, they're up there in jumpsuits and masks on stage, I presume very uncomfortably many times, in very hot settings playing for these loud festivals. If that's not a louder than life rock star mentality, then I don't know what is. So MGK only continues to contradict himself.
This is very important. The state of rock and roll depends on rock stars. I gotta see some you. I have to see some you in it.
MGK took it to the final battleground that is the cesspool of Twitter to make a seemingly generalized statement. Very odd that when an artist talks shit and I respond, I'm the bad guy. Unfortunately for us, MGK couldn't control his septic tank mouth that continued to spew shit and got a little bit more personal. He tweeted, Corey did a verse for a song on Tickets to My Downfall album. It was fucking terrible, so I didn't use it. He got mad about it and talked shit to a magazine about the same album he was almost on. Y'all's story are all off, just admit he's better. Oh, honey, you done fucked up because Corey keeps receipts, as would any sane person when a world can flip things against you in a heartbeat if you don't save the evidence. But here we have it. Corey Taylor claps back against these tweets by saying, I don't like people airing private shit like a child, so this is all I'll say. I didn't do the track because I don't like when people try to, quote, write for me. I said no to them. So without further ado, receipts. The first email screenshot he provides shows Travis Barker and Coulson, MGK, talking back and forth about tracks for the album, and MGK essentially says how honored he is to have Corey Taylor on it, and how he's writing some new ideas to make it work even better, and how he has a specific idea of Corey Taylor to do his psychosocial voice, and fuck yeah, tell him he rocks. By this already, we can see how much that MGK is just the ass kisser trying, "Oh, please come to my album, I'm just such a huge fan," but then he's so quick to obviously turn on him. But Corey shares a second email that I think is worth reading out loud. "Hey man, sorry I missed your call last night, by the way. I'm on dad hours, so I listened to the ideas, and to be honest, I don't think I'm the right guy for the track. Nothing personal, I just think if this is what MGK is looking for, someone else is the guy to do it. It's all good, and I'm stoked for him. I hope you guys find the right fit for it, hope you can understand, and I wish you guys the best with it. If I can help in any way, let me know. All the best, Corey Taylor." This was sent to Travis Barker, who of course of Blink-182 produced Tickets to My Downfall, and I think it's so hilarious, first of all, that we're gonna talk about how MGK is saying that his album is just so phenomenal and not dog shit in the first place, ripped ideas, and this trend is only continuing into his Born with Horns era. This is a poser on every single fucking level, and Corey Taylor is one of the realest dudes in rock music, not just because I'm a fan of his band Slipknot, but because everything he does, at least in the world of putting things out there in statements, are generally pretty on point. MGK continued to prove how much of a masochistic moron he was by tweeting in response to Corey Taylor, basically, "Your verse was really bad, respectfully. I was just telling you to rewrite it because it was really bad, respectfully. But let's do a Britney Spears song cover together. Horns up." I think MGK is extremely insecure about the fact that every idea that he has or else comes up with Travis Barker is borrowed from something else, whether that be the Pixies, Blink-182, or Green Day. I mean, his newest song, Paper Cuts, it sounds like Where Is My Mind, it sounds like Brain Stew, it sounds like an amalgamation of other things, except it's dog shit because of the way that he packages and delivers it. I can't sit here and pretend to be impartial on a situation that involves a rock god that has done more for rock music than MGK will ever do in his lifetime, and a poser who thinks he's somehow saving pop punk along with his deluded fan base, and the pop punkers out there that somehow think that he's the answer because he's able to regurgitate the past so well. This man thinks that he's some sort of Kurt Cobain reincarnate, and he's pushing that narrative harder than ever, and it's just so cringe-inducing. It's hard for me to sit here and say anything other than fuck Machine Gun Kelly. Corey Taylor obviously in the right, and he said it so simply, so effectively, way better than MGK ever could. How weird is it that MGK reignited this at Riot Fest, where both he and Slipknot were replacements for bands that had to drop out due to COVID complications, or else they just decided not to tour this year. They were both replacements, both playing on the same night at Riot Fest. And they take shots, they take the cheapest of shots over at Slipknot and just push this narrative that they're old men in masks, when MGK himself said that rock music is about having the look, about having the fuck you attitude and spirit and being uncomfortable on stage, when Slipknot fit that to a fucking T. At this point, it feels like Machine Gun Kelly is fishing with dynamite intentionally, and he's just putting stuff out there to try and be provocative, because all of his looks, everything that he does, I mean, you know that it doesn't come from a genuine place of passion. He's copying stuff that he's seen Rock Legacy do, and his whole VMA stunt, I mean, it just didn't do a thing. I mean, sitting there smashing the guitar, falling down on stage in some sort of big climactic finale. I mean, this is coming from the guy who was just backstage taking pics in the bathroom with Travis Barker and his girlfriend of also huge fame, basically looking like fucking middle schoolers who just discovered what tongue kissing was. I don't think I took enough of these, good lord. It's not a good look, MGK. It's not a good look, but that's just where we're gonna have to end it for today. That's my take on the situation. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like on your way out and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on future videos like this. Are you more on Slipknot's side of the fence, or I acknowledge that there's gonna be others that feel differently? What did you think about MGK's perspective? Slipknot versus Machine Gun Kelly. What a weird world that we live in. Anyways, if you want to see another MGK video I made, then tap here or tap here for another recent news update. All of my socials can be found in the description down below, and I'll be back soon for more on Beyond ARTV.